What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready? Are you ready? It's time!
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of Software Explorations. Oh, look at that. I am messing up already. Software Explorations, what we do here on a consistent basis, a regular basis. We explore, we learn, we play to win. I already got my brother in the chat. Your car, shout out to your car. Your car supports me so much. I am so grateful for connecting with your car. One of the top moderators on YouTube. And I'm going to get into it a little bit later as we go through the show in one of our breaks. I have a topic that we're going to touch on during one of the breaks. But we're here. If you do not know who I am your host of the show and of the channel. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where, above all else, we are engineered to win. We love winning here. We define our wins, and then we go out there and get it. No days off. You know, if we have to be the black sheep, then we're going to be the black sheep. But guess what? At the end of the day, we are winning. We are winning. All right, let's get into our agenda for today. We have a great show planned. I was planning the show. I said, you know what? I don't want to have no interruptions. I'm going to restart the computer, and I'm only streaming to, I've made a decision for now, right? I'm only going to stream to YouTube and LinkedIn for now. And I'm still debating on LinkedIn because LinkedIn has some restrictions that I'm not happy about, right? I could stream in higher quality, but because I'm also streaming to LinkedIn, I gotta, have lower frame rate and only into 1080p and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? YouTube is allowing me to do more, but you know what? I'm gonna stick with LinkedIn right now because I think that, which is something that I always tell you guys and tell my tech barbarians, I think that streaming on LinkedIn is showing a body of work as well, marketing my skills, like my technical skills, my communication skills, my critical thinking skills, and if that's where the people are who are hiring and stuff like that, then let me put it there as well. Even if I have to slightly lower the quality that I'm going after, but the information is the information. Like I said, some of my oldest, what I could consider my worst content, they get some comments that people find it really, really helpful. So hey, I'm all in for it. All right. So let's go into our agenda for today. And first and foremost, as always, you know what? Let's do it like this. We're going to do it like this. So I'm trying some new things out right here. So bear with me here, right? Bear with me. So cleaned up the stream deck a little bit, and we're going to go with one of these. I'm going to pop this up here, and we're going to go with housekeeping. let's take care of some housekeeping to get started, right? So, all right, stop the show. We got Trap and Slay in the building, my South Florida sister. Welcome to the show, Trap. Welcome to the show. All right, so housekeeping. Let's you not sleep. All right, let's get started, right? So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all of the newest subscribers and those who have been with me for a very, very long time. We are growing rapidly, and guess what? We are only getting better, building more and more ideas, content. We are getting it done, all right? And salute to my tech barbarians who are putting in that work every single day. I have some updates during our housekeeping and like at the end of the show during one of the breaks, I have another update. So I just wanted to say shout out to the new subscribers, shout out to the tech barbarians. You guys are out there killing it. Shout out to the bag chasers as well. Shout out to the bag chasers who I connect with on a regular basis. Anton Daniels, bag chasers, all that, all love. It's all love. Appreciate having you all here. All right. All right, so now let me just run through the live shows real quick. That way you can connect and you can see which show interests you, and then we can work it out that way, right? So I have the morning shows, Mondays and Wednesdays in the morning around 7:30-ish, because Mondays I start a little bit later because sometimes I jump on the Technique Tip show and we, talk about some news stories, and then so Mondays maybe 7:45, 7:50, Wednesdays around 7:15, 7:20 a.m. We are working, we review some news stories, and then we go into our mobile app development, which I have an update on that as well. Sunday afternoon, we're working on Terraform. We are working through Terraform infrastructure as code. I was talking to to Ferris in the chat the other day about it, how all the work that it would take me a long time to do on AWS, like inside the console. I create it once inside of Terraform, and then I can bring it up and bring it down on a regular basis in a matter of minutes, right? So that's what we're working on Sundays, Terraform, infrastructure as code. Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A session where if you have questions, I have answers, as well as I find some questions around the internet that a bunch of people have. And I have the call-in link available as well, that if you want to call in on Tuesday nights to ask me a question, we can have a conversation. I always enjoy that. So, that I make myself available to you on Tuesday nights for any tech or career related questions. And then Thursday nights, tonight we have software explorations where we're currently working our way through API automation. Tonight we're going to be working on doing it through Node, JavaScript, Node, SuperTest, all those good things. I actually just finished creating some unit tests for the Tech Barbarians project. So it's quite in my mind right now. So we're going to figure all that out. And then we have our new Saturday morning show, which we start around 9 a.m. We are reviewing the weekly numbers. Yes, our weekly numbers, where we're looking at the job reports and things like that. We have two main numbers to look at this coming Saturday, and then I'm gonna look at some other numbers that Yakar sent me, trying to figure out these reports, because hey, we want to be familiar with all of this stuff, right? Because we don't want to just go by what they're telling us. We want to understand it for ourselves, right? So let's stop having it where they're just feeding us information. Let's figure it out for ourselves, right? So that is our live show schedule. And then you see, we have a lot of live shows, just almost every day. The only day that we're not going live is Friday. And I used to go live on Fridays and not Saturdays. But Mitch convinced me to let's do Saturdays as well, reviewing the numbers. And I could not do that morning show without Mitch and Yakar helping me out with breaking down these numbers, because hey, I just write code, all right? I just write code, I just strategize and stuff like that, but I've learned so much. We've only done it for like 2 weeks now, and I've learned so much. So I really, really appreciate you all. All right, let's jump in real quick to our pre-recorded content. Mondays, we have Candid Conversations. This past Monday, we talked about putting yourself on a PIP, on a performance improvement plan. And if you don't put yourself on a performance improvement plan, then I guarantee that your car will do it for you. Yep. Everyone gets a PIP. You see, Oprah gives everyone a house. Your car gives everyone a PIP. If you don't do it for yourself, he'll do it for you. All right. So you gotta get your life together. You gotta get your life together. If you want something, make a plan to go out there and get it. Wednesdays, we have software explorations, concept and overviews. this past Wednesday, yesterday, we did GraphQL, introduction to GraphQL. How does that work and stuff like that. Probably maybe next week or so, we will probably try out some GraphQL stuff, see if I can find, set it up, make some use out of it. They use it at my job, but I'm not too familiar with it. So I want to know it all. I don't like when people are talking and I'm like not sure what's going on. So I want to know it all, right? So GraphQL, that was from yesterday. Watch that. We're going to be doing a stream on it very, very soon. And then Friday's the bug bite. So tomorrow it's going to be, I'm going to schedule it to premiere right after the show tonight. But we're going to be talking about Google. Yes, Google laying off members of the Flutter team, the Dart team, and the Python team, right? So all that stuff is happening, right? We do a lot, right? Because I want you guys to stay informed. I also want you guys to be entertained, all of that good stuff, right? So that is our show schedules for that we do during the week. We work here. We work. And, if you work with me, then you're going to work too. All right. I've lost some people because they didn't want to work. And I said, you know what? It is what it is. I work, so you're going to work as well. Okay. So and into some more housekeeping real quick. So I want to give a preliminary shout out to one of my tech barbarians because they are on the brink of coming off of their PIP. PIP stands for Performance Improvement Plan. I had to put one of my tech barbarians on a PIP. All right. They were underperforming. And I said, look, you're not on a PIP to get fired, but you're on a PIP because you're doing a little, you know how you say sometimes you're doing a little too much? Like you're doing a little too little, right? You're doing a little too little. So you're going to go on a PIP and this is what I expect. And guess what? They're right about to get off of it. So I just want to do a preliminary celebration. But if they don't follow through, then the PIP will be extended. All right. So I don't want to put you on a performance improvement plan. I don't want your car because see, I'm more forgiving. Your car will put you on that performance improvement plan in a heartbeat. You know what? He might just say, you know what? Forget it. You're fired. He might hit you with one of these. He might hit you with one. Where is that one? What happened to it? It's not there. But he might hit you like don't make your car mad. All right. I'm just saying. All right. So, anyways, let's. So that's the first announcement, right? Shout out to my tech barbarian getting off of their PIP. Next up, I want to drop in the chat, and it'll probably be circulating throughout the night in the chat as well. But I pushed the app, the time cost calculator that we've been building on twice a week in the mornings, based on the Anton Daniels formula of how to value your time, right? 8,760. On a leap year like this year, 8,784, right? But built the app. It is in test mode in the App Store. I'm going to drop this link. I'm going to drop this link in case anyone wants to be a beta tester of the app. You just have to send me your platform that you're on, either iOS or Android, and your email address, and I can get you added as a beta tester. And then if there's any feedback, I would love to hear from you. This morning, I created a form and added it to the app so that if you have any feedback on it, any ideas to make it better, anything that's not working, you can let me know. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat to become a tester of the app. I would really, really appreciate anyone who is willing to test it out and give me some feedback. I'm going to drop that right there. All right. And lastly, sorry, it's too much. All right. Lastly, before I go to the chat, right? I will most likely have to do an additional live between tomorrow night or Saturday night. I'm not sure which one, but this is what I found out, right? I was planning on pushing the app to the iOS store like Monday-ish, but I logged into the developer portal for Apple today, and it said I had 4 days left for the current version of the app that is in test mode, and I don't want that time to run out. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to do an additional impromptu live stream either tomorrow night or Saturday night so we can push this, so we can push it to the iOS store, and then the timer can reset and it can have all the latest versions, and then we can start testing, right? So, or we can start playing around with it, all that good stuff, right? So guess what? You guys pulled it out of me. You got an additional live stream coming up this weekend. And don't threaten me with a good time, right? Don't threaten me with a good time. All right, so that is our housekeeping for today. And let me go to the chat. I see there are a lot of people here hanging out with Tech Coach Ralph. I appreciate it so much. I am going to go through it and see what we have going on and say hi to all of my friends. So let's go to your card says, you never know who is watching. You could get a good job just by showing you have applicable skills. That is a fact. And we got Trap and Slay in the building. Says, hey everybody. Hey Trap, what's going on? What is going on? And your car asks Trap if he's not asleep. And Ferris says, we clean out here. Ferris, drop your link to your channel in the chat, because his streams, like, he had a good, he spoke for about an hour and a half yesterday about tech and stuff like that. And then he had the AWS Kubernetes stream on Monday. I think he's going to do that like tomorrow as well. Good stuff. I wanted to get into Kubernetes like a few years ago, but my computer wasn't powerful enough. And I was like, I'll come back to it later on. But I'm heavy into Docker. So just love to see what's being built, and looking forward to the next stream. So shout out to Ferris. Drop that link in the chat, Ferris. You're putting in the work. Brand new channel, just started, but he's going hard after it. He is going hard after it. All right. And Trap says she's almost asleep. Right? We have Miss Jennifer in the building. What's up, Miss Jennifer? How are you doing today? Says salute Tech Coach Ralph. Salute to you as well. And I am throwing the waving pink hand at you as well. Shout out to you. And we got Mitch. All right, let's see what Mitch has for us today. Your best content is when my name is mentioned. Highest engagement, highest views. He's joking, but guess what? That's a fact, though. Okay.
We the best. I appreciate you.
How's that work? All right, cool. So, and let's do a proper introduction, right, Mitch? The VP of data engineering has to do a proper introduction. With that being said, Blazers off, loosened up. The Thai Superman is alive.
They ain't believing us.
They ain't believing us, Mitch. They ain't believing us, but we here. We are here. All right. Oh my goodness, we have McColl's Wellness in Motion. Welcome. You know what? It's funny. This morning in the chat, I saw you and your car talking. I saw Python, Java, R, and then I saw my name. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, but I like it. Whenever I see these words, I'm like, oh, we're about to have a party. When I see tech words, I'm like, party. It is party time. Welcome. So happy to have you here as well. The whole family is in the building. You guys are too much. You guys are too. Mitch says, don't make a G shed a tear. All right. Let's see. All right. I think we are okay. We gotta address this, right? Where's my AC remote? Oh my god, it's so far away. All right. So your car says, I'm more likely to fire you. I don't like a disgruntled employee. That brings the office down. Not having it. See, I told you. See, I'm the nice one, right? I'll put you on a pip. But if your car gets wind of you're not performing, you might get out of there. Right? And Mitch, like, I be dropping gems in my foolishness. Yes, you do. Keep it up. And Ferris says he doesn't want to be a beta tester.
Money.
Oh, Ampstars. Oh my God, Ampstars. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm gonna check that out real quick, right? But Ferris said he doesn't want to be a beta tester, not a beta tester. He wants to be a Sigma tester. You know what? we're gonna change the name. We're gonna change the name from beta tester to Sigma tester because guess what? We don't want to be associated with beta, I guess. So we're gonna go with Sigma testers. All right. All right. And we got Amp Stars in the building. He's laughing. And I reckon I'm going to have to watch this from the beginning. We're just getting started. We're just getting started, but welcome to the show. I appreciate you. I really, really do. All right. And it says the super chat was I rock with the humble hustle. Shout out to you. Hey. We make it happen over here. We make it happen. All right. And oh my, see, you are in the perfect spot. You're in the perfect spot, McCall, because I'm a newbie in the tech space, getting certs in data analytics. Well,
Money.
oh my goodness, what are you guys doing to me here? How are we supposed to get into the show when you guys just keep showing so much love? I'm gonna get to you in a second, Trap and Slay. But McCall, a newbie in the tech space, getting certs in data analytics. Well, it is great that you are here because my VP of data analytics is Mitch, only because that he's only VP because that's the only way I can enforce the non-compete, but he is a master in data analytics. Ask questions in the chat, he will answer, and ask me any questions and I'll make sure I get the answers for you. We're a team here, right? We are a team, tech barbarians, tech mercenaries, bag chasers. We're making it happen, all right? We are making it happen. All right. Have y'all ever fired someone? I have never fired someone personally, but I have helped someone get fired, right? So all that. Because nobody likes it. That's true. Nobody likes a Debbie Downer. And
Money.
oh my. All right. You guys are doing too much. You guys are doing a little too much.
Money.
What is this a fight going on here? So I want to say, Trap, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for.
I appreciate you.
And your work on your Kanban board, absolutely amazing, I must say. And for you to be able to feel comfortable sharing that with everyone else, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right. Let's keep going. And it says, oh wait, Mitch and Tech Coach Ralph work at the same spot. No, we do not. We work Mitch works for me on this channel, right? He works for me on this channel. He is my VP of data analytics. Only because that's the only way I can enforce the non-compete, right? So McCall, definitely tap in with Mitch. He has all of the info. And the car hit me with the super chat. Oh my goodness. $20. He says, Tech Party Chasers, we are up. Yes. Look, like I always say, don't threaten me with a good time talking about tech, writing code. You know what? Let's make it happen, right? Let's make it happen, all right? There we go. Tech Party, it's up. It's happening, all right? It's happening. Now, I don't want you guys to go start going crazy, so I'm gonna put it back. I'm just gonna do the soft lights tonight, right? But Tech Party is going down, and just because of that,
Are you ready?
there we go. And every time we start a 20-minute segment, we're gonna party, all right? So, and then Trap hit us with the just. Nothing said, just a pure love. Shout out to you, Trap. I really, really appreciate you. And believe it or not, Trap and I went to the same high school. Not at the same time, but went to the same high school. So we have a connection. All right? I'm gonna get to the next thing, right? Because Mitch, you're too much. I never push someone off the bridge. I just help to push them. That's how you sound. Well, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. All right. You know what? Let's get to the next topic real quick. Right. I want to get to the next topic real quick, and then I'll read the rest of the chat, super chats, rest of the chat, and then we will get started with our work. All right? Because I don't have no meetings after this today. So I can go until like maybe 10 o'clock or so, whatever. All right. So here's the icebreaker. I want to do an icebreaker with you guys real quick, right? So let's put this back up and let's go with this, right? So icebreaker, Rick Ross lyrics, right? So I was listening to the Mastermind album, like yesterday, And there is this one, like I think it's the third song, right? And let me know if you're following me here. All right, it's called Drug Dealer's Dream. And the intro goes like this, right? And being tech barbarians, tech mercenaries, bag chasers, all of that good stuff, right? Let me know what you see that's off of this now, right? So it starts off, please hold while I locate your information. Your checking account available balance is $92,153,183.28. This reflects the most current information available on your account. So that sounds like awesome, right? Like, wow, he has $92 million in the bank, in the checking account. But then upon reflecting on this, I'm like, well, that's not the best way to allocate your money. Like $92 million in one checking account, that's not FDIC insured. And then you're not even getting interest on a checking account for the most part. I mean, some checking accounts do, but in a checking account, like how much interest would you actually be getting off of that? Like there's got to be a much better way to stash your money. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? This is like, why couldn't it be like, I know it's a rap song and stuff like that, but it could be more educational and informative that like, you know what? Let's not share a checking account balance, because I know that's not the case. Like he has his money in like wing stops and whatever other businesses and like in stock market and stuff like that. But like, why are we delivering the message like, hey, it's cool to have a bunch of money in the bank in a checking account or a savings account when there is way better use, assets, because Rick Ross has assets, stocks and stuff like that, property, all of that. But $92 million in a checking account where, I mean, 4%, like let's say you're getting 1%, 2%, 3% on a checking account. Like that's not bad for 92 million, but you can be getting like, 5% return. Like I checking my Acorns, I'm at like, 20% returns from my Acorns. Like in my stocks with Amazon, Google, AMD, those are getting like crazy returns. So I'm just thinking like, it sounds cool at face value. At face value, it sounds cool. $92 million in a checking account. But then when you deep dive on it a little bit, I'm like, well, that's probably not the best use of your money, how to allocate your money, but hey, I am nowhere near $92 million or anywhere near where Rick Ross is at. I'm just saying, it made me think. It sparked something. Let me know what you think, right? Am I thinking about it too deeply, or am I, or are we like truly bag chasers? Like, hey, 0 bag fumbles. We don't fumble any bag. All right. All right. So that's it. That is my icebreaker for today. We're ready to get to it. So let me get this off the screen. Let me get that off the screen. All righty. So if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. I know you guys have done it already, but if you haven't, go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live and drop new content. All right. And if you need one-on-one coaching with me, Tech Coach Ralph, you can always go over to www.techcoachralph.dev, where you can get exclusive content as well as sign up for a coaching plan where I can help you level up in your tech skills and in your career dreams. All right. So, and you know what? Not career dreams. I take that back. Not career dreams. I don't believe in dreams. All right. Dreams happen while you're asleep. Goals happen while you're awake. So in your career goals, I make everyone I'm coaching, they have to set goals. And then now every week, I make them use their calendar. They have to let me see your calendar. Let me make sure that you have everything organized and what you're going to be doing, and set goals. Like, all right, what is our long-term goal? What is our midterm goal? What is our short-term goal? And what are you going to be doing to accomplish those goals? And every week when we have a call, or every 2 weeks when we have a call, we check in to see, okay, where are we at on our goals? And we just keep going. Goals can be adjusted and modified, but we have to set them. All right. So just letting you know all of that. Right. So let's get to the chat one more time, and then we shall get to work.
Money.
Oh my goodness. Who is this? Ferris. Ferris, what are you doing to me here, Ferris? What are you doing? Shout out to you, Ferris. Shout out to you, Ferris. Too much. You're too much. Too much. It says, listen to Future for financial advice. This is not financial advice. Ah, that's too much. That is too much. You know what, Ferris? I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. All right. So let me finish up with the chat, and then we're gonna get to work. All right. So yes, I never pushed anyone off a bridge, but I did help. All right. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you. And Travis says, thank you and your car for taking the time to teach me. It was a pleasure. Look, we have to help each other out, and that's why we're here. That is why we're here. You know. And Ferris says, I work for no one. I don't know. Oh, Mitch says, I work for no one. I don't know this guy. All right. So break out the Belvedere. It's party now. You guys are, it goes, not deep. See, look at that. When you know, you know. When you know, you know.
Are you ready?
All right. This sounds like a party. Look, hey. One of my goals is to make tech fun. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, it's so easy and stuff like that. But, you know, because there's plenty of people on YouTube and LinkedIn that says, oh, tech is so easy. I'm not one of those, right? Tech is hard. If you saw the stuff I was working on today before I started the stream at work, I was waiting for like a few days for like my developers to get some stuff done so I can start working on the testing of it and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. Tech is hard, right? But just because it's hard doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be fun. So I look to make it fun. I look to, you know, and that's why you see like, oh, the lights and stuff like that. And, you know, talking about these topics, but we make it fun. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tons and tons of work. But if you can make your work fun, are you really working? If your work is fun, are you really working? That's my question, right? And it says never heard of it, and it says that's how you rap. No, that I don't rap, right? I don't have any creative skills, right? And your car says, of course, I would put it into assets. Back in the days, like we would think that, oh yeah, that's amazing. And now we're like, there is something like we're not going to have it sitting in a checking account that, especially like it's only up to, how much is it FDIC insured? Like 500,000 or 100,000 that's FDIC insured. Like we're not doing that, right? And because Wellness and Mocha said not at all, and he just needed the bar. Yeah, exactly. That's what I realized. And then Mitch says, listen to more Jay-Z then. No, that's not gonna happen. Sorry, that's not gonna happen. All right. Rick Ross is just another boot camp influencer. You know what, Mitch? I'm not gonna do it. You're not going on a pip, Mitch. But no, none of that. All right. And Abstar says, thing is, how many shares should one invest into Google or Micro? Well, I'm not gonna be the best one to answer that. This is what I do, right? What I do is I just have on a weekly basis is just adding more and more, like it's just adding a consistent amount to Google, to Amazon, to Microsoft, to Meta, to what else do I have? I do some for Rivian too, just because, you know, sometimes you have a little bit of risk in there. To Nvidia, AMD, and I meant to say Nvidia earlier, but yeah, I just have it adding to those on a weekly basis. I'm not like saying, oh, you know, this much and that much. I just have it on, like all of my investments for the most part are on autopilot. And then we review, see if is there something new that we should add, is there something that we should remove. But I take all emotions. I try to take all emotions out of any decisions, right? So that's the way I do it. I can't really say how much you should put here or there. I just say, you know what, those like the heavy hitters, the Magnificent Seven, I'm gonna put money in there and just let it go on its own. And then I just check it from time to time, like, oh, look at that, up this much. Oh, look at that, up that much. That's it, right? Oh, I also have some Tesla as well. Right, but everything is on autopilot, and then we go from there. You know, so and your car says tomorrow no fumble Fridays. Yes, tomorrow no fumble Fridays. We don't miss. All right, never fumble. And Amstar says structure and organization sounds appealing. I can dig it. I require it, right? So Mitch says 250,000 is FDIC. Perfect. Thank you guys. Thank you. Ferris hit me with that too. HYSA is like 5%. And put me on a pimp. I'll gladly take my talents elsewhere. We're not doing that, Mitch. You're good. Right? You're still on the non-compete though. You're still on the non-compete. And dollar cost averaging. That's what I do. Just the same amount every week. It just goes in, whether it's up or down, and I just check it from time to time. And that's where we're at. And we got Antonio Watkins in the building. Welcome to the show. And I'm waiting for a Black Swan event to buy stocks. That's me as a Gen Z doomer. All right. Well, whatever works for you.
Money.
App starts with you guys are too much. You guys are too much. Thank you so much. All right. So let me just read Amstar's last one, and then we're gonna get started. Right. So Amstar says, "I just appreciate all insight. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. We all are. Yes, we are. We don't miss. And I have a lot of DJ Khaled because I'm from South Florida. Like Trick Daddy is a little too vulgar, but DJ Khaled is clean family fun for the most part. Right. And I can't play Trick Daddy because Trap will not know what I'm talking about. So, it is what it is. All right. So anyways, let's get to it. So what we're going to be doing tonight, like I said, we are going to be working on writing API testing with Node, SuperTest, all of that good stuff. We're going to do the same thing that we've been doing the past few weeks, where we are using the JSON server in order to have something to test against. And then we'll also be using the what do you call that other thing? HTTP bin. All right. So that is the plan for today. Let's get to it. All right, cool. And I need, oh my God, my son stole my chopstick. Let me see, do I have any other chopstick over here? There you go. We got some tea chopstick, right? You are in the right place, Antonio Watkins. And guess what? Ferris, Antonio Watkins is interested in getting into cybersecurity. Ferris is in cybersecurity, so that is a good. And he started streaming on. When did you start streaming? Was it on Friday night? You started streaming, so check out his page as well. Ask him because like he has some great answers on cybersecurity stuff. So definitely check out his page. All right. Okay. Nightbot be hated, man. Nightbot be hated, like Oh, you talking about that? Yeah, that one. I like to know what's going on. All right, so let's get started. So I am gonna go to. Where are my things? All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new project. So I'm using the software WebStorm. It is from JetBrains, but you can use VS Code if that's what you're into. I am not the biggest fan of VS Code, and the main reason that I'm not a big fan of VS Code is because I have to actually like click save, while in the in the JetBrains products I don't have to do that, and one less typing for me is sold me. All right, so WebStorm. So we're gonna call this. I almost typed in Nightbot. We're gonna call this. Let's call API automation live stream, and we're gonna do let's just do a node project. And let me start the clock. All right, so let's get to it.
It's time to do.
All right, API live stream, okay. And we're going to say create. And I'm going to move this over here. So when you create a new Node project, it's going to have the package.json. I am not the best in Node and JavaScript and stuff like that, but I have been using it a lot to build our app. So we're here. And so now I can actually I can do some damage in here, right? So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the documentation that we've been looking at for the JSON server just so we can see how we're going to start it up. We're going to jump over to, let's see here. Oh, not that one, this one. All right, we're going to go here. And we're going to start it up. We already have this done. We have this. So we're going to do this right here. So I'm going to copy this right here. This is npx JSON server with db.json, and we're going to use that to start up our API. I need a terminal. Let me see. Terminals. Close down some of these terminals. All right, I'll go in here, and that way I'm just going to type in, at first I have to go into the folder for it, WebStorm, and then JSON server. So we had already downloaded this and stuff like that. So now I'm just going to go into it. I'm going to give it a npx JSON server. db.json. And now it's started up. So for those who are unfamiliar with API testing yet, I would highly recommend you watch the first video that I did on API testing, the software explorations concept and overviews, and then watch some of the past live streams where we've actually been doing API testing and automating APIs so that you can get more familiar with it, because APIs are absolutely everywhere. I have this project that I'm looking into getting to working on where we're going to be using some APIs for like pharmaceutical type stuff. So looking into that as well. So let's see here. I'm going to open up, actually, no, I'm not going to open up Postman. I'm going to open up, what is this thing called? Talend API tester. It is a Chrome plugin, right? All right. So I'm going to do, so here I was testing out the Tech Barbarians Poopy Pants app. We're going to go to a new one. And now if we were to take this right here and we paste it in here as a GET request, we will see everything that we have under post, right? So we just did a GET request to the API. And now what we're going to be using our WebStorm and our code for is to automate that. All right. So, yeah, there we go. So we have some stuff that we added a few weeks ago. See, look at that. Mitch right here. Location Los Angeles is the #1 top Heat fan of all time. Shout out to Mitch. All right. So let's go back to the other application, to WebStorm, so we can actually start doing something. All right. So we are going to need some packages. We are going to go into the terminal in WebStorm. And what package are we going to need? So we're going to need a package called SuperTest. We're going to need Mocha. We're going to need Chai. And that might be it for the time being. Let me go and let's go look them up first, right? So I'm going to go back over here. And we're going to look up Mocha, Node.js. And so Mocha, let's do a quick look at this one real quick. And then we're going to need SuperTest. And let's take a quick look at this one. Too much. All right. And we can also pull up this, because this is the one that I actually use this one right here to help me set up my tests for the application. You know, testing is super important. Writing unit tests, having my Tech Barbarians learning automation testing, all that good stuff. So let's go to, so first and foremost, so this is Mocha, and we're also going to need Chai, but Mocha, a feature-rich JavaScript test framework running on Node.js in the browser, making asynchronous testing simple and fun. Mocha tests really run serially, allowing for flexible and accurate reporting while mapping uncaught exceptions to the correct test cases. So if you are more into like the web development part of software engineering, like a full stack front end developer maybe, then it is a high likelihood that you'll probably end up using JavaScript, Node, those type of tools, those type of frameworks. If you are more on the backend side, then you might end up using maybe a Java or a C sharp type of language. And then if you are in data, then you might be using Python, R, Rust, things like that, right? So it just depends on the field that you're getting into and the domain that you're getting into that's going to determine what you have to get familiar with. I think you should get familiar with all of them, like to some type of level. But then as you start to go more focused into something, you're going to have to do I want to spend more time working on Java? Do I want to spend more time working on Python if I'm going into data analytics like McCall said? So you might want to start looking into R, Python, SQL, things like that. Versus like the Mochas and the JavaScript and stuff like that. So it just depends, it just depends. There's so many different languages out there, so many different frameworks out there, all of that good stuff. So and so then we also have SuperTest, which SuperTest is what's going to allow you to do the HTTP assertions, where you're doing the like validating of the API. You make the API request and then you get the response, things like that. All right. So that being said, let's get started. We are going to start installing these packages. We're going to go over to let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick, right? So I am not going to read all of this because it's a lot, but we're going to go into this type of stuff. I'm going to drop this link in the chat as well if anyone is interested in following this, right? This is like I used this like maybe 3 weeks ago or maybe 2 weeks ago in order to to start writing my test in Node. But basically, I'm not going to read this. Well, it's not too much, right? It's not too much. So let's read it. So I've been a huge fan of REST assured framework in Java. REST assured is what we used last week. Like the past 2 weeks, we were doing REST assured in Java. And I've been using it quite largely for testing my previous projects. But working on Java for a couple of years, I thought of exploring some other programming languages as well as decided to get my hands dirty in JavaScript, as it is lightweight, having object-oriented support, and mostly similar to Java. Hence, it is fun and easy to learn in quick time, which I agree with for the most part. I used Java and REST assured for almost the past 10 years, and using this for the past 2 weeks, it's like I see some similarities. Me personally, I like Python. I like doing it in Python a little more than I like doing it in JavaScript. But it is what it is. To each their own. Okay. So to begin with API testing, I was exploring and trying to find out some libraries, packages on npm, which I could use for testing the APIs. While exploring, I came across a SuperTest. Initially, I had to Google a lot about it as I couldn't find an easy to understand documentation about it. However, I went further understanding how to install it and use it. It was fun using this library and automating the test. I enjoyed writing tests far better using this library than I had been doing using REST assured. It's pretty fun, right? And I think it's actually easier than REST assured. And you'll see that if anybody saw the stream last week, you can let me know which one you find easier. And compare it between Python, Java, and JavaScript, Node. So let me take you on a tour. SuperTest describing what it is and how to use it. We pretty much read this already. You can use SuperTest as a standalone library or with JavaScript testing frameworks like Mocha. What is API testing? So quick recap, but your card posted the link in the chat. You can go and watch all the API testing videos because trust me, if you're in tech, you're going to be using APIs no matter what, right? So you want to get familiar with it, right? So what is API? Create this repository on GitHub, a sample test cases explaining how to test APIs. All right, so getting started, you will need to have Node.js installed on your machine. I already have that. If you don't, follow this guide. He'll show you how to do it. I have used Mocha framework for writing the test and Chai for assertions using the command given below. You can install SuperTest, Mocha, and Chai in one go. So we're going to do this. The -D is for dev mode. I is to install. And once the installation of the required libraries is complete, you are all set to start using the library and write the API test and perform the assertions. All right. So we are going to get started with that. I am going to go to the other screen now, and I'm going to we're going to just type in the command npm node package manager. That's what npm stands for. And then we're going to say I for install -d for dev mode. And we're going to do SuperTest. That's going to be, so you can, all you have to do is type them in and you space, like you just put a space and it's going to install, you write the next package that you want to do, the next library, Mocha and Chai. And we're going to do enter on that. And now it's installing. While it's installing, you can get a sip of water. All right, so everything is installed and we're good to go. So let me pull up over here. Let's go to, all right, cool. So these instructions are not going to work exactly the same way for me because those instructions are written, it looks like for an older version of Node. I have a newer version of Node, so I'm going to have to make do, right? So first thing I'm going to do, I am going to create a folder called, a directory called tests. And because it's possible that you can have web tests as well as API tests, I'm going to create a folder called API tests, because ideally the best thing would be like you have you have your application and your test in the same repo. So let's say we had the developer's code in there and we have our tests in there. I'm going to have API tests. I could have like UI tests. I could have unit tests, all that good stuff. I can have database tests, but we're just going to focus on the API tests for today. Okay. So we are going to do, let's do a file, right? Let's say a JavaScript file. And we're going to call that, let me see, what should we call that? Let's call it JSON server tests. All right, so we have that. Now we have our JSON server test file. And if we look at over here, we should have had, see, after we installed the Mocha, Chai, and SuperTest, now we have the dev dependencies, Mocha, Chai, and SuperTest. It gets updated in our package.json. All right. But here we're gonna have to do. Let me see what it's gonna be. So we're gonna say import request from. Let's say SuperTest. All right. In the documentation, you're gonna see it says constant request require SuperTest. Based on that's one of the things that's always trips me up with JavaScript, right? It always trips me up with JavaScript because and with Node, because they have so many different ways of doing something. And I had it the way that they had in the documentation before. I did some upgrades and then everything went to hell. And so now I believe I have to do it this way, right? So we'll figure it out, right? So next we're gonna do import expect from Chai. All right, leave it at that. And let's keep going. All right, so when you're writing tests in Node, JavaScript, using SuperTest, Chai, Mocha, all that good stuff, you're gonna say, like, we're gonna say this, and I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot easier to understand with like the way they write it. It's a lot easier to understand with test and G. So we're gonna say describe. Now we're gonna describe our test, right? So we're gonna say let's say we are going to make API requests for the live stream. All right. And we're going to go here and we're going to put here, do some type of lambda or something like that. And we're here, right? So we have our describe. We're in here is where all of our tests are going to go. Okay. And we're going to set a constant base URL, which is going to be HTTP localhost. Localhost is for the like your own computer, right? Because I have the what do you call it? JSON server running on my computer. If we were using an API for some hosted on the internet, some third party API, it would be that address for that API, right? So we're here and we're gonna go to like that. And we're gonna go to here, right? So we have that's pretty much it. We have that, and then we'll pass in the what I can do as well. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little. I'm gonna do a little extra, right? So we're gonna say constant. All right, just do that. Whatever. So as a post endpoint, and I can just do something like or yeah, post for all right, post. And we can do base URL plus post, right? So now I can just use this instead of having to combine stuff. Okay, so there we are. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to say it is going to say what is it that we're going to do in here, right? So I want to do let's say add a post, and we're going to say add a new post to the API. All right. So we're going to post to post. All right. So in APIs, we have like a get request, a post request, we have a put request, a patch request, a delete request, all those things that you have that past videos, we saw all that. We've done it in past live streams. Now we are going, this mouse. Oh, mouse. All right, cool. So there we go. And now we're going to do here, comma. And in here is where our test is actually going to go. Okay. So there we have it. And see how much time is left here. Let's see. Oh, 2 minutes. All right, cool. So a long 20 minutes, I must say. Okay. So we are going to make our first request. Let's get started. So we're going to say, let's look at the request format. I think I could take anything, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at the format that we're going to do. We are going to, so this is a curl post one. This is getting one. So we can do a post to post. So it's actually post. So we have to update that. And we have get post, which will get you all posts. We have get a post by its ID. That's what this all means over here. And then they have one for profile, things like that. So we are going to go back and we're going to make a post, right? So if we go to here and we do, let's say new or not new, let's say let post request equal, and we have that there, right? Cool. So now we're gonna say let me see what we have. We can make it. All right. So let's say we have I'm not gonna add an ID. It should add a new one on its own. Let's say we put name, right? And we put say tech coach Ralph, and we say location.
Lunch break.
All right. Let's finish this one. And let me just finish writing this request, and then we'll go with our break. So let's go. Cool. And let's see anything else. Let's say I don't know. Favorite language. right? And let's go with I don't know. Do I have a favorite language? I don't know. Let's go with Python. I don't know. Whatever. I don't really have a favorite. I like them all. All right, so that's going to be our request when we get back. When we get back from break, we are going to actually make the post request, and then we're going to do a get request, all that good stuff, right? But let's go to break. Let's go to break, and before I go to the chat and have some fun with you guys, because you guys are having so much fun over there, and I want to have some fun too during this party. But I'm gonna let's do a quick topic for our first break. All right. So let me put this back up. And what was the topic? So show your work. Show your work. What do I mean by show your work? What I mean, and let's put a 5-minute timer up. All right. So what I mean by show your work. What I see a lot, right? And whenever I go on LinkedIn and stuff like that, I will see people who are they're complaining about, the job market this and the job market that and this and that, and oh, people need to do this and these companies to do that, and it's like the list of demands we saw this morning. Your car, you know what I'm talking about, right? The list of demands that you guys have to do this in order for us to. And so it's like people are making a list of demands to these companies, like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and I'm like, companies don't have to do anything for you, because guess what? You guys are complaining about them outsourcing. This is what leads to outsourcing, right? So what I want you to do, show your work. Whenever you're learning something, even if you don't make a video about what you're learning, show something, right? Create some type of documentation, create some type of blog post, create a LinkedIn post, something that you can show, because we will spend so much time on the internet. Right? We'll spend so much time on the internet talking about which rappers are beefing with who, talking about watching hair stuff or whatever the case may be, or complaining. Oh, you're not like, these companies need to do this. And those are my favorite, right? These companies need to do this. We need a chance. All this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, why should we give you a chance? When I say we, I'm talking from like somebody who's been working for the past 20 years, right? I started off in tech support. Making $12.25 an hour. And to get back, I started working when I was 16 years old, right? And I was working at a park as a park attendant and making like just above minimum wage. And then as I was finishing up school for network engineering, got a job doing tech support around $12 an hour. And I just worked, answered calls, helped troubleshoot, helps me so much today with all the work that I'm doing here. Like the things that I was learning 20 years ago in tech support, I still apply them today, and they're still helpful for me troubleshooting. And I say, show your work, that the things that you're learning, whether you're doing a boot camp or a Udemy course, or you're in school, whatever it is, show it to the people who matter. So instead of going on LinkedIn and complaining about, oh, they're not giving us a chance and everything like that, show the people who actually matter what it is that you can do. What is it that you're learning? And I was saying earlier when I started, like, oh, maybe I'll stop streaming to LinkedIn because it affects like the quality of the video that I want, because LinkedIn has like, lower minimum standards or maximum standards than YouTube and like Facebook and stuff like that. And I said, I'm not even going to stream to Facebook. I'm not going to stream to X. I don't care. Right. But YouTube, I'm going to say on YouTube, and things like that. And I'm like, I don't even know how many live streams that I have, right? In the past year, we're not even at a year since I did my first live stream. And I have like so much, like the Q&As, Terraform, different automation type stuff. So I'm saying you don't have to create a YouTube or anything like that to like create videos and become like some content creator, but show something that you're doing. If you're learning like for Mocha, for example, right? Learning data analytics, data engineering and stuff like that, do something that you can show people like, oh yeah, let's say you do it every other week, or you create some type of blog post like, oh yeah, I learned this week and this is what I've been working on. learning at like showing your work, like learning the different tools that you'll be using. Let's say you're going into software engineering, software development. You're doing like, oh, okay, so I built this application, things like that. Ferris, for example, he's showing his work. He is showing his work by going to like the AWS stuff that he's doing, where he's like going into like he's going to AWS, going into Kubernetes. Ran into some hiccups on the stream on Monday, but that is the part that like I love seeing. I love seeing the struggle. I love seeing how we have to figure things out. There's been plenty of streams where I'm like, you know what? We're going to call it a wrap for today. We're going to come back at it next week. And then sometimes it takes 2 weeks to figure it out, but we still figure it out. But that's the work. That's the mindset of troubleshooting, figuring things out, breaking it down so that you can win, right? It is so much better to know how to do stuff. And I'd rather you go out there and learn how to do the thing.
Back
So
to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
I would rather you go out there and you learn how to do stuff. You build your resume. You build your portfolio. You build your toolkit instead of saying, you know what, give me a chance first. Give me a chance first, and then I'll do that. No, do the work first, and then you get rewarded for it, right? No job has ever paid you for a year in advance, and then hoping you show up the rest of the way, right? And then, like, you know, so do the work ahead of time so that you can just, you know, streamline your way in. I always talk about one of my tech barbarians. They didn't know anything about Python like a month ago. And now or Git. Now I say, all right, this story is ready for testing. They figured out the agile methodology, the agile process. They figured out how to pull in new branches, how to start it up with Docker. Didn't know anything about Docker. How to start it up with Docker, how to use Mongo, how to use Compass, all that type of stuff, right? Within a month. So, and now I say, you know what? Now you have to actually show your work because you know how to do all these things, and like not the best yet because you just got started. But the thing is, I'm like, show your work because you're applying for these jobs, but you know it doesn't show that you have that much experience, so you have to show that you know how to do it. And that's the part I'm like, you know, however you're gonna show it, whether it's like writing it out, doing some type of a PDF presentation, whatever, a PowerPoint slides, whatever the case may be. Show it to somebody, show it to the people who can actually make a difference in your life instead of going at them saying, you guys need to do this, you guys need to do that, all that, right? So I'm just going to wrap that one up right there. Remember, show your work. All right, let me bring that down. Cool. So let me jump into the chat and have some fun because oh my goodness, there's so many chats going on. I can't not read it all, but I'm going to try to highlight on some of them because you guys are having a great time in there. And so first and foremost, I got my brother in the chat, Darcel. See, I got the wrong one. Where see, oh my goodness, we are backed up. We're backed up. So Darcel, welcome, Darcel. So good to see you as always. All right. So let me see. I am so backed up. All right. So let's go to. Why you guys got beef with Nightbot? Nightbot is the only one who shows up nowadays. You know, Nightbot actually shows up. All right. So yeah. Ferris, drop your link in the chat so that everyone can get to your page. He just started, but it's great content. I love watching it. Like I'll be coming from jiu-jitsu and I jump on the stream and I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. And I start acting a fool in this chat. So please forgive me, Ferris, for acting a fool in your chat. All right, let's see. So the memes of engineers not liking to click save is real. I don't know if it's real, but for me, it's real. I hate clicking save. And that's a fact. Yep, that's exactly true. Just keep watching. You'll pick up the lingo in real world activity. So when you start diving deep, you won't feel lost. That's a fact. Shout out to the car. And you guys hating on my only chatbot that actually shows up. Mitch knows the struggle with the chatbots. All right, Mitch knows the struggle because they would just not like the other one would just not show up to work. It just would not show up to work. And API, the messenger between two applications or programs. Yep, exactly. Check out the API documentation video. I'm gonna do a stream like where we're gonna be implementing API documentation. I just gotta find the API to implement it on. And it says when his name is attached, most views. We rocking out here. We are rocking out. And yes, we are working in Node.js. Back to serious no more foolishness. R, Python. Yep. For data, R and Python and SQL as well. Do you guys ever use Mongo? I don't think Mongo is really meant for data, but let me know. Do you guys ever use Mongo, Mitch? I'm just curious. Let's see. What else do we got? And McCall says, I like Python the best. See? There you go. You are at the right place. Like I said, I was using Java for the past 10 years. And then the company I started working for last year, they use Python. And it's funny because a few months before that, I took a Python course on Udemy, and I was like, oh, I took it for other reasons, and then now I use it every day at work and stuff like that, and really optimizing the code base that we had. I inherited the code base that we have at work, and I'm just like optimizing it. Me and another guy that we're working together on it. Starting are the see this is the stuff that I like, right? This is like this is stuff that excites me when I see us putting in this type of work, starting on R, liking Python. This is the language of success, and you know what? Love it. All right. Let's see what you see. Yep, there we go. And when you come here, we are going to celebrate your success.
We the best.
All right. That's what we do here. And have I you know what? I have heard of Scala. There was like three companies ago. There was this like super talented and smart software engineer. Like this guy was a genius, right? And he told me about Scala, and that around that time I was getting more and more familiar with Java, but I never used Scala, but you know what? I'm gonna add that to the list, Mitch. Let me do that right now. Where's my AnyDo? If it's not on my AnyDo, then it's not gonna happen. All right, any.do, and let me log in. Add that. Look into Scala. Water. Let's go with. Let me just add Scala on the list real quick. All right. So where are we now? All right, cool. So let me see what else we got. Darcel in the building. Good evening, fam. That's what I was looking for. Shout out to you, Darcel. I always appreciate when you come by. I know you are a very, very busy person. And let's keep going. Let's see what else we got. Is Mocha basically Postman? No, there are two different things. Mocha is a testing framework and JavaScript and Node. Postman is a tool that is used for doing API requests and stuff like that. So two totally different things. The equivalent, like I can pull up Postman actually. The only reason I didn't pull it up because I can use it in the browser. But after we go back to the show, once we get in our next 20 minutes, I will use Postman so you can see Postman. But yeah, it's two different things. And let's see what else do we got. Mitch is not the nice one. All right, he is not. Don't let him fool. He is not the nice one. All right, let's get to it. And it says, all right. So your car says, I like how Ralph is running through different formats of the same code as he creates the lines. That is a great skill. I'm trying. It's like I just created an agenda before we on the things I want to touch on, and then I'm just like, that's just my mind going and crazy like that, So let's see what else we got. So Glow, welcome, Glow Hardy. See, Glow, you almost got put on a fifth today, right? But we got your back. All right. Says you're in tech. Wow, you get cooler by the day. What? You guys are too much. All right. So it says you're automating posts through AI scripting. Not AI API scripting. API like I'm doing Node, but not AI, not artificial intelligence, but we're doing API, application programming interface, and yes, data analytics. Yes, data analytics. And Mitch put a plug in for Saturday mornings. We go over weekly numbers, 9:15 a.m. data. Yes, we do. We're going to be reviewing this week's job numbers and some other. I forgot exactly what number that is, but we're going to be doing that. And so join us if possible. And McCall says, I have no choice. The hubby is a senior principal cybersecurity architect, not trying to be on the whoa. That oh my goodness. That is awesome. Senior principal, principal, like, so senior is like a particular level, right? And then principal is another level. But when you combine senior and principal and architect, that, you know what? We gotta take a pause for that, because that is absolutely amazing. That is like, you are in good hands. All right. That's awesome. That is awesome. And the newcomers list of demands. And Abstar says, illegals want this for that. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I could never show my work multiplication in schools, all in my head, so I got half credit. All right. You got to put it on paper. And it says, just always had an analytical mind and a geek rolling off the floor. Hey. We are making the nerds and the geeks cool. Like, cause hey, if we can have this much fun talking about tech stuff, then we can't miss, because we're gonna get some cool things done, and we're gonna make a lot of money doing it as well, right? We're gonna make a lot of money doing it as well. All right, so
Money.
Thank you for your patronage.
Antonio walking, I stand with migrants. You guys are too much. And Ferris says Ferris, why you got to do that, right? Why you got to do that? Where is the wealth building? Where is the wealth building journey? I don't see. Oh, I almost missed that one. What's going on? The wealth building journey. Welcome to the show. All right. Highest position I had was network admin. Nice. I went to school for network admin, for network engineering, but I went into the software development route instead, doing web design, stuff like that. And let's see. Anything else? Let's see. Mitch says, even me and Ralph back and forth data. What's coming next? All right. So I think, let's see. So I want to catch a replay of this one, learning APIs stuff. Yep. Definitely. Yep. Watch the replay. Watch the videos from like when I introduced APIs, talking about API testing, and then watch the live streams as well of how it actually went into practically breaking down API testing. The first one that we did like for automating the APIs was with Python, and one of my tech barbarians, they watched that one and they started automating the API that we're building, right? So I don't make these videos to be like tutorials or anything like that, but they can help you get started, and then Google, like you see how I Google, things like that. So that's what's going to help you. And says Rob gets frustrated, so I try to lighten up the stream. I do not get. What are you talking? I don't get frustrated. I mean, sometimes I do, right? Sometimes I do. But let's go to. It says that's the funny. Those I need the reminders. And all right, so all right, let's go to. Oh my! Shout out to you, Fred. You are. Oh my, what's going on? Oh my goodness. What's going on here? All right. We'll wait because you guys are the party keeps partying. All right. So is that it? All right, perfect. Oh my goodness. So much going on. You guys are too much. Right? So shout out to all the newest members. And did somebody gift memberships? Somebody must have gifted some membership. Let's see. Your car gifted memberships. Oh my goodness. Shout out to you, your car. Shout out to you. And Ferris was gifted. You guys are too much. Shout out to you, your car. So much support. I appreciate you. And me and your car, we've put on some amazing agile presentations, and it is all fun. It is all love. All right. So I'm gonna get back to the other chats later, but it's time is running, so let's do some more work, right? Let's do some more work, and then I'll go back to where I left off because I want to make sure I address all the chats because you guys are supporting me, and I really really appreciate you guys. All right, so let's go. Let's put up another. We're partying, right? We're partying, right? We're having fun. We're having fun. So in order to have some fun, let's
Go! Let's go!
hey, we're gonna do what we do, all right? So I'm gonna go back over here. And we are at, so I created this, so we call this a dictionary, right? And we're going to add this to the post, right? So we're going to say, let me go and use the guide over here while I'm typing over here. Mouse. All right, so we're going to do request. And that request is coming from the SuperTest. And we're going to say, the post. Okay. So slight modification. Well, not really. Let's go to take that out, right? And we're gonna say request, and we're gonna say base URL, and we're gonna say here. We're gonna say post, and we're gonna say to the post endpoint. The only reason that I'm typing the post endpoint in here as a variable and not just putting it in here because I want to just be able to call it once and not have to like type in post every single time. Because what if this endpoint changes? I can just go in, and the same thing over here. If this changes, I can just go and make I can just change it here, or I can change this here and not have to typing it every single time, right? And I'll show you what I mean as we get further into it, right? So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set the except for, so the type that we're going to be accepting is application JSON, and we're going to set the content type because this dictionary is in JSON format, JavaScript object notation, and for those who aren't familiar with that, and we say set, we're going to say the content type. And guess what? I would always say JSON, and I never I never would remember what JSON stood for until I started like making videos about it, streaming on it, and doing research on it. And I'm like, oh yeah, JSON, JavaScript object notation, right? So the more you talk about it, the more you share with other people, the more you teach other people. I'm gonna make a confession, right? This is my confession. While I appreciate you all being here, supporting the show and everything like that, I actually get the most out of this because I learned so much being able to communicate and share this with you. I improve my communication skills. I improve my presentation skills. Improve my coding skills, right? And you guys are here supporting me, having fun. So that's why I always say, like, show your work, and you don't have to do it exactly as I do it, but find your way. Find a way that's going to be enjoyable to you. Like I was saying earlier, show your work. So we have here, we're going to say application /JSON again. Oops, spell application wrong. Application. And we're going to do end. And here we're going to say, I don't know if this is going to work exactly, but let me put I need the done in here actually. And then we're going to go here. I'm just following the guide for now, but I might have to clear out that a little bit. So I can probably go like this. Error res. Do this lambda. And in here now we're going to start to do our validation, right? So expect, and we'll say the rest dot body dot, or not body. I don't want body. I want status code first. Status code, and this is the part like in Mocha and Chai, it gets like, it's easier to understand what's going on versus like a Python, because a Python you'll just say assert that this value equals that value, right? But here they make it a little bit cooler. So I'm like, expect the status code to be equal 200, right? And I said I was going to show Postman. So let me pull up Postman real quick. Oh my god, are we doing this again? Are we doing this again? You guys are too much. You guys are too much. Who did this? Who's doing this? Your car, what are you doing to me? Your car, what are you doing to me? Too much love. Too much love.
I appreciate you.
Car, like, you're trying to make me end the show? What's going on? All right. Let's keep going. All right. So, see, when your car parties, he parties hard. All right. He parties hard. All right. So, let's go. So we have expect status code to be 200, and let me pull in Postman real quick so you can just see. Let me go to a different one, and I'm gonna do here first, right? So this is Postman first, and I'm just gonna put in the same endpoint, right? So HTTP localhost. I'm gonna do it manually first, right? So just so you guys, like, because if you didn't see the stream, a lot of new people here today probably didn't see the stream from before. So I'm gonna add something to the I'm gonna add to the post, and I'm gonna copy this into. We're gonna say this is gonna be a post, and I think like maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, we did a stream where I was like navigating through Postman, navigating through Insomnia, navigating through the Talend one. Talend is a quick and easy one because it is right in the Chrome browser. So now I have to fix this formatting for. Let's go to here, and I'm gonna fix this formatting. When you do it in Postman, you're gonna have to like you're not gonna write it exactly as it is in your code, because the code can like add like it can clean it up for you, right? So here we are, and if I go, let me say 2, right? Or let's go with manual, and I go here, and now it's gonna come back with this right here, right? So ID. Techo Draft Manual, South Florida, Python. All right. So there's that. So now we're going to be doing the same exact thing. So here we see what we're expecting to get back. So I'm going to say, let me do something real quick. I'm going to go to, just so we can see both real quick, right? Let's go to here, right? So now when I'm writing my, let me see how it's going to look right here. So when I'm writing, so the expected where we're doing our validation, our assertions, just so that we can make sure that everything works. So we're gonna say our expected is 201, right? So here we go. 201 is our expected. We see the 201 in, and this is why I always tell you, manual testing, which is gonna be offensive, right? Which I apologize in advance. I apologize in advance. Manual testing will never, ever go away. However, manual testers eventually will. Because if you only do if you say I'm a manual tester, I'm a manual tester, you can only do that for so long. Because those, like Ferris, those are the ones who get outsourced heavily, because anyone can follow a list of steps to go this. I still do manual testing, but the innovation and the automation and looking up new tools, working in AWS, working in Terraform. When people say, "Oh, that's not my job," I'm like, well, guess what? If it's not your job, someone else is willing to do it, and my tech barbarians are going to come and get it. The bag chasers are on their way. All right. So don't cling to one thing. The people who were saying, oh, you know, the Ford Mustang is going to replace the horse, the actual horse Mustang, and we can't let that happen. Remember when the taxi drivers were fighting Uber, and now Uber's everywhere, right? So just saying. So we have this one. Let's go to another one now. Expect, and we're gonna say, so REST stands for response, and we're gonna say, let me see. We're gonna say body, and we're going to say what name. We can do it this way or we can do it this way, right? We can say name and to be equal. And then we're going to pass in this right here. And one thing I did on my test as well, we can say, we can expect the response body to be in, let me see, to be in, yeah, I said to be in object. Because this right here is an object. It's a dictionary, but a dictionary is an object, all right? So we have that. And we got that. Let's see what else. So I'm just going to copy the line here. We're going to say the location. We're going to say it's South Florida. Move it along. And we're going to say here, favorite language is going to be Python. All right. So there we have it. That's good for now, right? What's going on? All right, so let's run it. Let's see what happens. This might totally flop. It might work. Who knows? Who knows, right? But that's how we learn. That's how we learn. So we're going to run the current file, see what happens. So I'm going to press run. And we have import requests from cannot use import statements outside a module. So let's go see. And this is the part that drives me crazy with Java. It's a setup. The setup drives me crazy. Where is that thing? Where is that thing? The setup always drives me crazy. Let me see if I tried the other way then. Let me see. Const request equals. Let's see if that's gonna work. Require. Because I don't want to spend the whole night trying to get this part to work. Because this should be the basic, right? So like when it comes to like Python and stuff and Java, like my setup goes like right away. But whenever it comes to like figuring out the right format for the right version and stuff, it's just a nightmare. Let's see. All right, let's try that now. See what I mean? Exception during run, ESM require of ES module. All right. Oh God, let me see. So now we have to fix that part. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna open up my other project and see how I have it done in there. You do new window. Move this over here. And we have, let me see. I'm just gonna steal a little code because I don't want to waste time setting up this part. All right, so we have inside of package JSON, we're gonna go with type. Type module. Might be it. So let me undo this then. And this is why I gravitate away from Node and stuff like that, because it's really cool in some spots, but then it's also very weird in some other spots. Let's see. Run that. Import expect from chai. The requested module chai does not provide an import statement. All right, let me see what I have in my other one. Let me see. Import. Maybe I got it from Mocha. Let's go with get the setup done. Expect from chai. Request from SuperTest. Let's try that again. All right, there we go. So we got it working. Had to steal some code just to make sure I have my setup right, but we're good. So now it says expected undefined to equal tech coach Ralph. All right, let me close this down. All right, so let's see where we failed. So we have a failing test. And let's see why. Happy that didn't take too long to figure out. All right, so we are going to here name to be what I like to do is we're gonna do a console just to see how it's being returned. So res.body console.log, and maybe I should make it name. I don't know. Let's try it in two ways. Let me make this one .name, and we'll leave the other one like that, and make sure in my request we do have it as name. All right, let's run that. Let's run it again because I always tell you guys run early, run often, see what you get. And you know what? I forgot something very, very important, right?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I didn't add the request. I wish I had my stupid soundbite, right? I wish I had my stupid soundbite. But let's do it, right? That's how we learn. All right, so we're gonna say post, and then we're going to throw in the. Let me see where I put it in. Send. We need the send. That's not a good thing, right? So we actually have to in order for it to actually add this, we actually need to send it. So let's send the post request. Boom. All right, now I'm gonna change this back because both of them probably will work, but I'm more used to going like that. And let's run it again. All right, let's run it again. So tell me about it. Let's run that, and let's see what happens. And the done, of course, the done thing. But it did add it. Now we need to clean up so for async test, ensure done is called. All right, so let's make this, and this is the part, I still don't understand this part too well, right? The whole async thing and the whole, that's my limitation with Node. But we're gonna say async. And we're gonna throw in here in await. And if we run it again, and we go down here and we say catch. Let me steal some more code. Because I do not memorize this node. I can get started with Python and a Java, but memorizing the node stuff, that ain't gonna happen. So catch done. All right, so we're gonna go in here. Two things. I need to add a done in here. Actually, I'm gonna change it a bit. I'm gonna change it to, or maybe if I throw in a done in here. Let's see if I try that first. I'm trying to done first, right? Don't ask me to explain this part because even I get confused with it. I got it to work, but even I get confused with it, right? So, all right, so let's do I'm gonna change it to the other one, right? Because I have it as this, right? So I'm gonna say throw in a, let me do it exactly how I have it on my project, right? So expect 201, and then I'm gonna say this is gonna be a then. And we're gonna say this is gonna be a response. I can just do rest. And in here, I can do done. And in here, I can do dot catch and done. Right? That should work. Right? Fingers crossed. Let's find out. Specify a callback or a return a promise, not both. You guys are so annoying. And this is why Node gets on my nerves. Let me see. So with that, I don't need this to be async. All this stuff comes with figuring out how to code. See, like I always tell you guys, in these videos on YouTube and stuff like that, they will show you the perfect path, right? And I show you this is how it really works. Like try and try and try until it works, right? Figure it out until it works. Boom, there we go. There we go. All right. So that one, we got it to work. We got it to work.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
Talk about perfect timing. Talk about perfect timing. Let's go to break. We're here. We are here. We are here. So on our break, you know what? Before I even go to break, I'm gonna catch up on the chat. Because I'm backed up on the chat. I like it because guess what? I want to have fun too. I want to have fun too. All right. So let's see where we go. Let me see. Where are we? Where are we? Let's see. Let's see. They make us show our work in my class. That is true. Awesome. But yeah, and I'm gonna talk to your car about this, but I think I used to do this thing like last year where I would call it like show your work Saturdays, and I would schedule like a hour on my calendar where you can call in and this I was doing this on Google Meet, right? And people can just I worked on this, I worked on that. People weren't very consistent with it, so I'm not doing it anymore. But your car, let's talk about it. Maybe we can do something like that where maybe every other weekend or something like that in Discord fireside chat where people can show their work and they can practice they don't have to they can practice their presentation skills, showing what they're working on, and we can support each other and stuff like that. So we'll talk about it, right? We'll talk about it. And let's go. No, not Mongo. Yeah, Mongo is not really it's not really it's because it's a no SQL database, it can get very messy and maybe not the best for data and stuff like that. So it says, McCall says, you do martial arts. I need to get back to it, but I don't want the Taekwondo. I don't want to do Taekwondo this time. I suggest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been doing it since, so June 3rd or 4th is going to be my fourth year. I'll be starting my 4th year in Jiu-Jitsu. I started in 2000, right after the gyms opened up after the pandemic in South Florida. We opened up earlier than most people. And I've been doing it for since then. Did some competitions. Recently got my purple belt back in December. I would suggest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is very, especially if you have an analytical mind, it the way that you can think through it and see patterns and stuff like that. That's why I love it. So I would suggest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It says study Muay Thai or something more practical. So Muay Thai is good too. A lot of places where they offer Muay Thai, they also offer Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So you can look into that. I know Mr. Lot, he does Muay Thai, and then they also offered it at his they also offered Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at his gym, and then he started doing that as well, and he's loving it. So I would highly recommend that. It. Punching, kicking, and wrestling are integral to self-defense. Yep, that's a fact. And with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you could the reason I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? The way that it got popular was a much smaller person was able to defeat a much larger person, and it's all about controlling your opponent. And I love when my tiny self, I prevent people from being able to move, and they get so frustrated because how is this small guy being able to control me the way that he's being able to control me? All about controlling the joints and everything like that, pressure, stuff like that, right? So all really, really good stuff. And it says, Coach said, Muay Thai, Krav Maga, and I forgot the other I liked. Let's see what else we got. I think MMA would You're too funny. You're too funny. All right. Let's see. I'm doing Uber Eats, but listening. Awesome. Yeah. Just listening and you're going to get it. Antonio Watkins. Shout out to you. You see, and that's what I talk about multitasking. Okay. So always multitasking. Let's see. Bring me some hot wings. It's so funny. Let's see what else we got. Your car. So much love. So much love. All right. Shout out to your car. Ferris got a membership from your car. Make sure you guys thank your car. If you got a membership from your car, make sure you thank your car. All right. Awesome.
I appreciate you.
All right. What else we got? What else we got? Let's see. So let me check out. So that is the app that my tech barbarians are building. So I am the software engineer on it, but we started it back in like September, and it is a app where it uses we use David Goggins quotes, and you click on the link or you click on the button and it gives you a David Goggins quote. And we've been using that to and like when you see it, it's like such a simple and basic app, right? But the technology behind it, I use Terraform on our Sunday streams. I use that app to learn how to do Terraform. I using that app to like get familiar with the node and stuff like that. My tech barbarians learning how to do QA, learning how to use Mongo, learning how to use Docker, all that type of stuff, right? So, and that's what I like. My thing is like, I love David Goggins, like his quotes, his mindset, and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, let's build something, and just a very simple app, but so much learning is coming out from it, right? So I'm just it's so finding something that you like and that you enjoy, and then building that and making it useful to other people. So yeah, like I definitely like don't let Nightbot fool you, but that is the app that my tech barbarians are building, and it's really, really cool, and they've putting a lot of work on it, right? Glory says, I'm gonna start binging. I appreciate it, man. I put a lot of like content, like, so when I do my Q&A shows, and then every day I have a clip from the Q&A show like from months ago that's coming out, just to keep you guys and keep me in the loop and keep you guys informed, all right? So let's see. Yeah, we can't control who gets it, so all right. So we have a question here. Which is easier to learn, JavaScript or Python 3? I would go, like, I'm gonna say easier. I would go with Python. Let me know what you think about that. Do you agree, your car? Like, would you say Python is easier to learn? I would say Python. It's a lot, like, it's a lot more straightforward, but it depends on what you're using it for, right? If you're interested, like I was saying earlier, if you're interested in like web design, web development, things like that, I would probably say, all right, go with JavaScript. But if you're interested in like general coding, maybe data, stuff like that, then I'll say go with Python. But it just depends. It really depends. But so let me know what your interests are, and guess what? They have courses for cheap, right? I always recommend, like, which I need to go and talk to Udemy again, because they need to give me my money, right? But I would say go with the Udemy course. It's you get them on sale, and they have like, I can send you the Python course that I took, and the web development course that goes deep into JavaScript and Node that I took. They have you do projects in there as well, and like that's how I was able to like do this Node stuff based on those courses. I didn't do a boot camp or anything like that. I already had some pre-existing HTML and CSS knowledge, but I've always had like issues with JavaScript, but that helped me a lot. And those two courses, learn both. Probably start off with Python, but I would say don't neglect JavaScript, because it's equally as important. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. All right, Python is. I would say Python is easier. you guys stop making your car go crazy. All right, stop making your car go crazy. And Travis here. All right, so I prefer the ease of Python, but that's just me. Yeah, Python. I'll definitely say Python is easier to learn. I did do the web development course first, but I'll take go with both. And let's see. Anything else? All right, cool. So let me get to this other topic real quick, and let's go to get that off, and let's go to here and break two. So we gravitate towards scammers, right? By we, I mean whoever gravitates towards scammers, right? So what am I talking about? I'm not talking about like the person who's trying to scam you out of this and that, just in general, because what I normally find, people who participate in like a victim type mentality, they're going to gravitate towards people who say what makes them feel good, not what they have to hear, but what makes them feel good. And usually, people who just say things that make you feel good are the ones who are going to scam you, right? Whether it's on a boot camp or a LinkedIn post, whatever the case may be, right? So let me I have something up for you to see, right? So and it's funny, whenever I need some content to talk about, like 10 minutes before the show, I'm like, you know what? I need something for the second break. And let me put the thing up, right? And I'm like, let me find something for second break, and boom, got it, right? So I'm gonna share the screen on this one, right? So let's go to here. So I copied and pasted because I don't want to expose anybody's scams and stuff. I mean, I should, but there was a post on LinkedIn, right? It says, this has got to stop. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Companies are misleading job searchers and hiring badly. So, I'm going to show you the picture, but it says, advertising the role as remote leads to attracting a wide net of job searchers. Easy apply, open the door for one huge volume of application, 101 day. While saying remote is actually hybrid, means most see remote won't be applicable. Vague salary means there will be a lot of people over and under required budget. Companies have to responsibly, they have a responsibility to hire properly and effectively, right? So they put, so before I go step, right? So in the picture they post, right? So this job post says remote, full-time, mid-senior level, and then number 2, the easy apply button. So don't put the easy apply button, right? And then here, location, hybrid. Wow, North Carolina. What am I talking? All right, so hybrid, 3 days in the office from the following locations: Charlotte, North Carolina; Dallas, Fort Worth, Jacksonville, blah, blah. Salary varies by location and experience. This, like, other than like the saying remote when it's hybrid, like this is a typical job post, right? But looking for what is a talented proofreader? Anyways, I digress, right? So, but here's the part that's hilarious, right? So now, for the most help on your job search, join the comprehensive job search support platform on the market. So now they're trying to bring you in. They're trying to bring you in to their things, to their marketing, so they get your email address and stuff like that. And guess what? Like, and this is the stuff that, like, when I see it on LinkedIn and whatever job sites or whatever thing, it's like, and the people, like, they get tons of likes, tons of people. Oh yeah, they need to stop doing this. They need to stop doing that. They need to stop doing this. And I'm like, you know what? If I was a hiring manager, which I'm kind of happy I'm not, or if I was a recruiter or something like that, I would look at, because my past 2 jobs, right? They found me on LinkedIn. They said, hey, you look like you might be a good fit for this. Would you be interested? And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. I didn't have to go. I applied for jobs on LinkedIn before, but the ones that I accepted, they found me. And the thing is with all that is, if I was a recruiter or hiring manager, I'd be looking to see, okay, what are you commenting on? If you're applying for a position, I'm going to go and find your name, and I'm going to say, what are you commenting on? What are your thoughts? What are your sentiments? Are you running the Victim Olympics? Are you feeling that, because if you feel before you even get the job, before you even talk to me, that I owe you something, when you're the one who's looking for a chance, looking for opportunity, all that type of stuff, then I'm like, all right, sorry, not a good fit. Sorry, not a good fit. But if you are actually like moving away from these Victim Olympic posts, from these all this type of stuff, where it's like, oh, this is the work that I'm doing. Like one of the people that I actually saw, like one of the few people I actually saw who went through a boot camp and got a job, they posted things that they were doing, like while they were looking for a job, to learn how they organize their day, how they went about practicing how to test, all these different type of things. And I'm like, okay, and I gravitated to that person. I'm like, okay, this is the mindset, and I want to see if I can help you. And guess what? They ended up getting a job, and I was like, nice, awesome. But then you have other people like, oh, like you guys have to do this. Like, guess what? Guess what? There is not one company who told you to go spend $10,000 on a boot camp. No company told you, hey, go take this Udemy course. Like, on the job posting, it starts out like the very first thing that says on the job posting is, we're looking for a bachelor's degree or a master's degree in like computer science, cybersecurity, whatever, right? Or equivalent experience, which might be like 5 years, whatever. And then you go and you say, well, the very first line, I did a 3-week boot camp, and now I just want you to do something for me.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
And then I'll go back to full screen, right? I can go back to full screen. So, and then we're like the people, like it says, join my platform to help you on your job search, right? And it's like, how many people have they hired? Have they helped get a job? So when I see it, I'm like, oh, I just keep it moving. But the people who are putting in the work, the people who are showing their work, those are the ones that I want to help. I want to see them grow. I want to see them win. I was saying the other day, like someone that I interviewed a few months ago, and I just found out they started at the company. I was like, oh wow, because I was very happy when I interviewed them because they asked the right questions. They were like very like, although they're new to the field, but innovative mindset and stuff like that, and asking the right question, like asking the questions that are so important. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, we just love to gravitate to scammers because they make us feel good. This is an emotional post. Like, oh, you guys have to stop doing this. No, if I have the keys to the car, I'm gonna drive wherever I want to go, and either you're gonna say I'm not getting in the car, or you're gonna have to comply. Right? Simple as that. So, if you guys want an opportunity, then get to work. Stop complaining. Stop falling for the scams. All right. So, going to get rid of that. Second break is up. All right. Cool. Let's see, what time? 9. Oh my goodness, time is running. All right, let's go. I have time though. I have time. So let's say, let me jump down. So day in the life, remote jobs. You can't just hang out all day at the beach working. Like, remote work is work. Like if you don't perform, they're gonna get rid of you. Okay. So it says, no, I can't. Well, I can work on the beach. You guys are too. I work on the government side, so you know how that. Oh yeah. So it says, let's do it. That's why I made people do. Yep, exactly. We got to follow up on that. Maybe I have to see. I have to check my schedule. And Ferris says you can probably just make a shared Excel to document their weekly goals and everyone on a different spreadsheet. We'll see. And says exactly what I was interested in, Mitch. Let's see. You just have to find the right path and cruise. All right, cool. All right. Let's see. I don't want to be flipped with Aikido. You guys are too much. All right. Let's get to Python is more straightforward. I agree. Java does make you more money. That is a fact. Java's good, but it takes I would say that is a good thing to look forward to because you can Java is powerful. And I think you asked me a question earlier. I didn't see that question, but the wealth building journey. You asked if about HTML, CSS. I have built websites using those, no, like the Poopy Pants app that's using HTML, CSS. Node, Mongo, we're about to migrate to Mongo, all that good stuff. And Mitch says 40K to 800K in 2 months after a boot camp. What's that called? I don't know.
Congratulations, right? You played yourself.
I've seen 3K in 1 day. All right. All right. All right. Let's get back to work, and then I'll wrap it up with the chat to at the end. So let's get back to work because time is running, and I can't keep you guys here forever. We have already been going for 2 hours, and I'm about to put another 20-minute segment on the clock. So get some water. And I really, really appreciate you all for being here from the bottom of my heart. All right. So let's do our last 20-minute segment.
It's time to do.
So you see that we have our first one passing. So now we are smooth sailing, right? So we're gonna do another. Let me move this down a little bit. So, why are you coming back up? All right, hold on. All right, cool. So we're gonna say another. Let's minimize this one. We're gonna say another it, and we're gonna say get. Clean this up right here. Post. I'm gonna say get all the posts from the API. All right, and we're gonna go here. Done. I don't even need this actually. I can just do done. All right, and now we're gonna say, let me look at what we did in the first one. All right, so request. We're not sending anything. Request dot show request or request, and then base URL again. And we're gonna say dot. Let me see. Dot get, and we're gonna say post endpoint, and we're gonna go with. There's nothing to send this time. We're gonna say expect 200. Expect 200. And we're gonna go to then rest again. And I'm just gonna throw in my done at the beginning. And I'm gonna do the catch done as well. And now I can go in here. See, after you get one going, it's a lot easier to start. It's a lot easier to start navigating it, right? So expect, and we're going to say expect rest is for response, response.status code to be equal 200. Expect rest.body to be in. Now, instead of an object, it's going to be an array because we're getting everything back, right? So what we're expecting to get back is, let me show you, where's Postman? So if we change this right here to a get, now we should be getting all of this stuff back, right? All of these. So we do an array, and we can do expect rest.body to be length to be, I want to say the length of, but every time you add something, it's going to increase. So I want to do be to expect, let me see, length of, it's not what I want to do, but I want to say to be greater than 1. Whatever. So we'll say, for now, I'll see. Let me see how many are in there. I don't even know. Let me see. Can't even see how many's in there. Whatever. We'll do it like this. So we'll say to be an array, and we'll say expect the. Oh, I already have one in here, so let me get rid of this one then. Let's say we'll say, so now we're going to say the first one inside of the array is going to be to be an object. So here we're saying we're going to target the first, like the first one of these, the first dictionary, and that's going to be an object. And we're going to say expect res.body for 0 to, or well, let's go here for here ID to be 1. Now we're targeting the ID to be equal, and that is a string to be equal to 1. And then we can do, just copy that, and we're going to say the same thing, the title to be JSON server. And what we could have done was like the length to be greater than, I don't know, 5 or something like that, but I didn't want to go into like searching for that. But if you wanted to, by all means, go for it. Res.body 0, and then author to be equal, and that's going to be Tippy code. Boom. Right? Simple. And now if we run this, because we could do the second one too, but we're pressed for time, so let's not. So if we run this, this should pass as well, and we'll have our get, right? So let's run this, and boom, look at that. How fast it runs, everything passed. I can even get rid of printing this thing over here in the first one, but it's okay. But yeah, so now we have 2 tests that are passing. We have our get all the posts from the API, add a new post to the API. So let's jump into the next one. So and I won't go into the patch one and the I won't jump into the patch and to the put, because we saw that last week. If you didn't, go check it out. But I do want to get into the error handling as well. So we have 12 minutes. So let's go fast. Right? So we're gonna say here. Remember Ricky Bobby? I want to go fast, right? So get a single post from the API. And we go here, we're gonna say done. And now you're gonna see like how much faster, once I get ramped up, how much faster I can like just start coding it without even looking and stuff like that. Looking at the other ones. So I always say I memorize the concept. I don't memorize the code like word for word or like understanding syntax and understanding the concepts is what's going to make you great at being able to maneuver between Java, Python, JavaScript, and then Google like, okay, this is the syntax I need to follow, but I don't memorize anything, and that's how I can go from Terraform. I can go to Java, I can go to JavaScript, I can go to Python. You know, once we get into like the Rust and the R and the Scalas and the Goes and stuff like that, you know, so much we can do, right? So request, and then base URL. And we're going to go to get, and we're going to say post endpoint. And we're going to add to that. We're going to say, let's go to find the one that we added, right? This ID. And we're going to drop this in here. Right? And then we're going to say that expect $200, and then I'm going to say res like that. We're going to say expect, and we're gonna say res.body or res.status code to be equal to 200, right? Now expect res.body, and we're gonna say, so now this one that just got added, right? It just got added. We're going to be testing that one. So we're gonna say the name to be equal to tech coach Ralph, and then expect res.body location to be equal. Because why is it important to also do the get request on something that you just posted? Because the post gives you one type of response, but we also need to make sure that the get request is returning the right information as well. So because you can make the post return one thing and then the get request can return something else, or it cannot return it at all. You have to make sure that it's actually making it into the database. So that's what we're testing out over here. So location is going to be South Florida, and expect res.body favorite language to be equal Python. All right. Let's see. Anything else? So, and I always like to do the make sure that it's an object as well. Expect res.body to be an object. All right, here we go. So let's run this one and see what we have. Let's go and try it out. All right, so let's run. Oh, forgot to do something. You see, because I didn't add the done in the beginning, like we did on the second one, that's what we missed. All right, so run that, should be good. Boom, perfect. All good in the hood, right? So we have all three tests passing. Now we are going to quickly go over to HTTP bin so we can see what's going on over there. So let's go to here. So HTTP bin is a cool little website that or application where you can test different type of HTTP methods, and you can like get status codes and stuff like that. So I always like to do some of the error status codes. So what we can do is do the let's do a status code on the patch, right? Just so we can see some of the patch working. We'll do a status code test. We're gonna send so all this does is you send the status code that you want to get returned, and then it's going to give you the validation, right? So we'll do like a 400 on the patch and maybe a 405 or a 500 on the put, right? Just so we can get some experience with it. Nothing major, so I can go straight back into the other one, and let's go ahead and do that, right? So now, let me minimize this one. We're gonna do it, and we're going to say a put, and we're gonna send that to status 400, or let's go with 41 for authenticate. Oh, let me not do 41 because let's do 403, right? And that's for authorization error message, right? And if we go here and we're going to say done, and we're going to say here, let's add our done right now because I don't want what happened last time happen this time, right? So we got this done. All right, cool. Oh, forgot to. My bad. Moving toward. So we're here. We're going to say request dot or request, and then we're going to say that's going to go to http s:// http bin.org, and we're going to say put, and we're going to go to the status slash 403. And we're going to say, oh, do a, let me take this out of here. Put that over here, and we can get rid of that. Optimizing the code while we're at it. So we're going to say put and send post request. And we're going to go here. We're going to say expect 403. And we're going to say then res. And throw in our done in here. I got too excited the last time. All right. And then catch done over here, right? Cool. Next up, we're going to go to in here, expect res.status code. And it's just repetition at this point. It's just repetition, right? Sending different formats, and this is how you learn. This is how you learn. I think anybody could pick up on this, writing some code, like a good introduction to write some code. And I always say, run it as soon as you get something, get it to run, get it to pass, and get that quick win. I like quick wins, right? So to be equal 403, right? And that's probably about it that we're gonna need on this one. Let me see. Let me try it out over here real quick. See what we get. So I'll drop this link in the chat as well. HTTP bin. It's very, very useful to get familiar with APIs, how they work and stuff like that. All right. All right, so we're gonna go here, try it out. We're gonna say code 403, execute, and we get what does 403 give us? Some type of authorization thing. Let's go. Let's leave it at that, right? So there we go. So now let's go back to over here. And if we run that, what do we get? And oh, so I thought 403 had where are we failing at? So something is wrong with the address. Let me see. http bin.org. Maybe it's because of this. Run that again. There we go. There we go. We got that one working. Let's do one more quick one. I'm just going to copy this whole one just in the essence of time. Let's drop this one let's do a 404 not found, right? And it's going to be 404. 404. And if we run this again, we have, let's see what we got over here. So let me clean this up. Not found error message, right? So this should, oh, wait a second. See, I missed one. All right, there we go. So you see when I missed changing this to 404, it told me that you're expecting 404, but we actually got a 403 forbidden, right? We don't want a 403 forbidden. We want a 404 not found. Run it back, and so this is, why are you still failing? Why is it still? Oh, because I didn't look at that. There we go. There we go. Now, if we run this, boom, there we go. There we go. All right. So we have 5 API tests. Some running locally, some running from HTTP bin, which you can also set up locally and using Docker. I am going to drop this JSON server link in the chat as well. If anybody wants to go ahead and try this out locally, try out everything that we're doing here, all that good stuff, right? So, that's gonna be it for now. Let me go back to full screen. We can wrap up the show, but let me know what you guys think, right? Did you guys have fun? Did automating these APIs, getting familiar with Node, JavaScript, seeing me make some mistakes, but also learning, figuring it out. We wait till this timer goes off, and then I'm gonna go through the chat. Actually, I had one more thing to talk about, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. So let's go to
Lunch break. Lunch break.
So we're gonna do this real quick, right? Because I just wanted to highlight something real quick. I don't need the timer for this, but let's go to here and here, right? So I call this part, right? Those who want it, get it. And then those who don't, complain and fall for scammers, right? So I just wanted to say that I see who works hard and I see who makes excuses. And so, for example, I was talking about my tech barbarian who's coming off of the pip, right? Because I got into him. I'm like, hey, look, you keep saying you want something, you keep complaining, you know, if you're gonna be wasting my time, then get out, right? And they're like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry, just do better. And now they put in the work this week. Very, very proud of them. But I also wanted to highlight this. Another one of my tech barbarians, right? I had like they saw a job they wanted to apply for it, and they sent me their resume. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give you some feedback on the resume tonight. At 4 a.m., I started getting notifications because like we're using a Google Sheet. I put the comments on there, what to update, things like that. At 4 a.m., I see, oh, they made this update. They made this update. At 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., they're making these changes to their resume so that they can apply for the jobs, right? And I'm like, see, this is the mentality of like those who want it, they're going to go out there and get it, and those who don't, they're gonna be begging, right? They're gonna be begging. They're going to be handing out lists and stuff like that, going on LinkedIn and say, oh yeah, tell those jobs how it's supposed to be, and those jobs are gonna be like, well, we can automate, we can use AI, we can do self-checkout, all these things. So when you try to hold a company ransom, trust me, they're never going to lose. They will never lose, right? If you haven't seen, like if you haven't read the book Atlas Shrugged, one of my favorite books, when the companies decide to fight back, it's not going to be pretty, all right? So, oh, and then the last one I want to talk about, right? Your car, my brother, your car. We went live. Yesterday I went live, right? It was 7:30 in the morning that I went live, and your car is up. He's in California, 4:30 in the morning. He's like, hey, I got a bag yesterday. I'm up early to get another bag, right? And like I said, those who want it, get it. And those who don't, they're going to complain, all right? The book is called Atlas Shrugged. It's a very, very long book, but it is very, very good. It's about when the companies fight back. It's by Ayn Rand. It's like really old book, right? But it is very, very good. I love that book. So think about that, right? So with that being said, I'm going to go through the chat and I'm going to wrap up the show because I know I'm backed up. I know we're going to have so much fun tonight, but let's do it. Let's wrap it up. So let me go to get this off the screen. But yeah, shout out to your car as always. You know, he supports. So I see the work that he does. He supports so many people. So you know what? We're gonna all give a round of applause to my brother, your car. All right. So as we wrap it up, let's see what else we got going on over here. So much. Let's see. Let me see. I gotta find a way to highlight some of these chats. All right, so let's go to Victim Olympics. Mic drop. You guys are too much. All right, so this is where we're at. So let's go run through these real quick. Says, I knew it. That's what I asked for. You're welcome. Let's see. All right, so Ferris says, 0 filters for fresh jobs under 10 applicants. Apply for company website. Track each job on Excel. I did that last year. Connect with recruiters and hiring managers. Slide into those DMs. You see? People slide into the wrong DMs, right? You need to slide into the recruiter's DMs and say, hey, so tell me about that job, right? I think we're a good fit. I think we could be compatible. Stop trying to be compatible with these people. Like, slide into the recruiters and hiring managers DMs, right? Shut up. That's a great point. And he said, that's how Ferris got to where he's at now. He slid into the recruiter's DMs, right? And Mitch says, in my opinion, I think sales boot camps are easier to get than technical boot camps if you choose to take one, but do your research. And that's what I'm kind of noticing, because like I've heard people going into tech sales and then they end up like from what I've heard, they end up getting a position not too long after, compared to like when you go into these tech boot camps. Maybe when the PPP loans were booming, they were hiring everybody, but nowadays it is not that easy. And Antonio Watkins says $10,000 on a boot camp. I have seen someone, because they were getting like a veterans or government payment type of thing, that and the boot camp was charging like $20,000 for like cybersecurity stuff. I was like, what? And if you ask Ferris, he'll tell you that you can go to WGU, Western Governors University, and like for $20K, like for less than $20K, you'll probably get a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity or computer science or whatever. So like do your research. I know a lot of times like, oh, I just want it fast, but slow and steady will win the race. If you can go to school, match up those job requirements as closely as possible. Social versus technical skills. That is true. Talking about the sales, and Ferris, I just mentioned it, right? I just mentioned it. WGU, and so that 2 WGU degrees. That's 2 WGU degrees and 20 certs worth of money. Exact. I just mentioned it. Ferris, right on point. Right on point. What did I just do here? Oh, there we go. And let's see. Go. I like the electric Pomodoro timer. Yeah, you know what we're doing here. And Antonio Watkins, Java. It is Java. It's good. Java is good. And here's the thing. I also want to tell you this, right? And I tell this to like anybody I come in contact with. While you're learning, because a lot of times people are like, okay, I got the skills. I'm gonna go and work for this company. I love working for companies. I get my benefits, my 401k, all that type of stuff. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, well, with the things I'm learning, what can I do for myself with it, right? So being able to build this mobile app, being able to, there goes in the chat, right? So being able to build this mobile app, being able to build this app where I'm leading the tech barbarians to building, to learning how to do QA, learning how to do, and I don't know how to do UI UX, but they can take the course and then they can apply it to something that is they can actually show to recruiters, to hiring managers. Oh yeah, I participated in this application as a contractor or as a freelancer, whatever the case may be. And these are the technologies that I used, all that stuff, right? So that's what I make available to, that's what we make available, See what else we have. Let's go. Your car says Rust is good to learn because all the new CPUs coming out and thread counting increase. Well, what? I guess we're gonna have to get into Rust. All right. I love new technologies, all that good stuff, right? So I love learning. And Anthony Watkins says, I don't remember why not remember all coding, because there's so many resources out that's available that you don't have to remember everything word for word. Like you just need to know the concept and how you approach it. Everything that we've been doing, Python, Java, JavaScript, it's all object-oriented programming. And understanding the concept of object-oriented programming helps you go and navigate through different languages, like C#. C# is like the step cousin of Java, right? So that's like, so that's why I don't remember like every single, like, I just know. And then with the use of these IDEs, it suggests to you what comes next. So you just need to know the innovation of what you're building and how to build it. And then the rest comes easy. Getting the code written, that's going to be the easy part, right? That's what your card is saying over here. It says, it's too much to remember, but you remember the general structure according to each platform. So it's good to know how to find the correct code and learn by memory after that, right? What you saw here, after writing our third test, okay, now I got it down pat, and I can just but then if I don't come back to it